Eala dazzles in DC. The Filipina star shows exactly why she's a superstar in the making. Such heart, such desire and quality. From a set down against the former world number, Alex Eala has produced one of the most electrifying upsets of the 2026 WTA season, defeating reigning Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen in a thrilling three-set battle at the Mubadala Citi Open in Washington, D.C. The 21-year-old Filipino star rallied from a set down to claim a memorable 4-6, 6-4, 6-1 victory in their round of 32 clash, securing the biggest win of her career on American soil. The triumph also marked a dramatic reversal in a rivalry that once appeared firmly in Zheng's favor. Nearly 3 years earlier, the Chinese star had defeated Eala in a hard-fought semi-final at the 2023 Hangzhou Asian Games, winning 6-1, 6-7, 5-6-3 before going on to capture Olympic gold, while Eala settled for the bronze medal. That painful defeat remained a significant chapter in their history, leaving many Filipino fans and tennis analysts wondering whether Eala had truly narrowed the gap or if Zheng's outstanding resume, including a career-high world number 4 ranking, a runner-up finish at the 2024 Australian Open, and the reigning Olympic gold medal, would once again prove too much. 4-1 set. It seemed those doubts might be justified. It genuinely looked as though history might repeat itself. Zheng came out firing, absorbing Eala's early pressure before gradually taking control with her powerful serving and composed baseline play. A late surge of 3 consecutive games allowed the Olympic champion to close out the opening set 6-4, sending a wave of anxiety through Filipino fans who had witnessed a similar storyline before. But what followed was a remarkable display of resilience from Alex Eala. Rather than allowing the setback to shake her confidence, the 21-year-old regrouped, reset mentally, and elevated her level. She sharpened her return game, applied relentless pressure on Zheng's serve, and repeatedly escaped dangerous 0-40 situations with calm, clutch tennis that denied her opponent every opportunity to build momentum. As the second set evolved into a tense battle of holds and momentum swings, Eala found another gear. After falling behind 3-4, she responded immediately with a crucial break of serve, confidently held for a 5-4 lead, and then served out the set 6-4 to level the match and force a deciding third set. It was in that final set, however, where Eala truly announced herself to the tennis world. From the very first game of the deciding set, Alex Eala looked like a completely transformed player. She opened with a love hold to immediately seize control before breaking Qinwen Zheng's serve not once, but 4 consecutive times, storming to a commanding 4-0 lead that visibly shook the reigning Olympic champion. Zheng's body language shifted from calm and confident to increasingly frustrated as unforced errors began to pile up, while Eala's pinpoint baseline precision and relentless consistency allowed her to dictate virtually every rally. By the time the match reached its conclusion, Eala had completed a breathtaking comeback, sealing the final set 6-1 to book her place in the next round and deliver a redemption story that Filipino sports fans will remember for years. This was far more than just an upset on paper. Although Eala entered the match ranked world number 28 while Zheng had fallen to number 123 following a lengthy recovery from elbow surgery, the Chinese star still possessed the resume of one of the most dangerous players in women's tennis. A reigning Olympic gold medalist who has defeated the sport's biggest names on the grandest stages. That is what made Eala's victory so significant. She overcame a difficult opening set, absorbed Zheng's trademark power and aggression, and responded with remarkable composure, tactical intelligence, and unwavering belief to produce one of the defining victories of her young career. The way Eala absorbed Zheng's power before completely taking over the closing stages of the match speaks volumes about how much her game has evolved. The victory comes on the heels of a historic Wimbledon campaign in which she became the first Filipino player ever to reach the round of 16 in a Grand Slam singles event. A breakthrough run highlighted by a stunning victory over former world number 1 Iga Swiatek on grass. Now, by carrying that confidence onto the hard courts of Washington and transforming it into a signature win over a reigning Olympic champion, Eala has firmly established herself as one of the brightest young stars on the entire WTA Tour. She has proven that she can challenge and defeat elite opponents regardless of the surface, the occasion, or the emotional burden of a rivalry that once seemed firmly against her. At the same time, it is important to appreciate just how difficult Qinwen Zheng's road back to the tour had been in the months leading into this match. After battling through a lengthy recovery, she returned determined to rediscover the form that had made her one of the most feared players in women's tennis, making Eala's victory all the more impressive. After rising to a career-high ranking of world number 4 and capturing Olympic gold in dramatic fashion at the 2024 Paris Games, Qinwen Zheng's career took an unfortunate turn when persistent pain in her right elbow eventually forced her to undergo surgery. The procedure sidelined her for several months, causing her to miss the entire 2026 Australian Open and costing her the valuable ranking points that had established her among the most feared players on the WTA Tour. By the time she returned to competition in February, Zheng was effectively starting over, working her way through the early rounds of smaller tournaments while carefully managing her recovery and attempting to regain the rhythm, confidence, and explosive form that had previously carried her to a Grand Slam final. Although her 2026 season had produced mixed results, including first-round exits at both the French Open and Wimbledon, there were encouraging signs that her game was returning. Most notably, she reached the quarterfinals in Athens just 1 week before arriving in Washington, offering a reminder that, despite her reduced ranking, she remained a dangerous opponent capable of competing with the very best on any given day. That is precisely why so many analysts and bettors still view Zheng as the favorite heading into this showdown despite the significant gap in the current rankings. Experienced tennis observers understand that proven pedigree and a player's highest level often carry more weight than temporary ranking fluctuations, especially for a former Olympic champion working her way back from injury. That context makes Alex Eala's victory even more remarkable. She was not simply defeating a former star whose best days were behind her. She was overcoming a player who had already begun showing clear signs of returning to top form and who many considered a genuine contender to make a deep run in Washington. Eala answered every question with a performance built on composure, tactical intelligence, and the fearless big match mentality that has become the defining characteristic of her 2026 season. Over the past year, she has completed a remarkable transformation from a highly regarded junior prospect into a legitimate top 30 player capable of going toe-to-toe with the biggest names in women's tennis. That evolution first captured worldwide attention during her outstanding Wimbledon campaign, but this victory over Zheng proves her success is far from surface-specific. Her exceptional return game, mental resilience, and ability to elevate her level when the pressure is greatest have translated seamlessly from grass to hard courts. That is an encouraging sign as she enters the heart of the North American hardcourt swing and begins building momentum toward the US Open. Beyond the tennis itself, however, this victory represents something even greater. Beyond its impact on the tournament, this victory also reflects the changing landscape of tennis in Asia. Commentators have increasingly highlighted the emergence of a new generation of Asian stars, with both Alex Eala and Qinwen Zheng leading that movement. The fact that a match between two Asian players attracted such significant international attention on the stage of a WTA 500 event speaks volumes about the region's growing influence in women's tennis. For the Philippines, where sports such as basketball and boxing have traditionally dominated the spotlight, Eala's rise represents far more than individual success. She has become a genuine trailblazer, introducing millions of Filipinos to elite-level tennis and inspiring a new generation of young athletes who can now dream of following in her footsteps. By competing on equal terms with Grand Slam finalists, Olympic champions, and some of the biggest names in the sport, and defeating them, Eala has transformed what once seemed impossible into a realistic ambition for aspiring Filipino players. This remarkable victory over Qinwen Zheng will almost certainly be remembered as one of the defining moments of that journey. A match in which a young challenger overcame an early setback, refused to be intimidated by an Olympic champion's reputation, and delivered a performance that announced her arrival among the elite of women's tennis.